Hey everybody, welcome to WarKry Radio. Go be great. I am your host, Karena Calhoun, and I am super excited to be here today. I have with me Miss Grace Ann Johnson, and this conversation is gonna be fire. I can tell you that already.
Mhm,
I know it
mhm.
in my bones. I can see it, I can feel it, and I'm sure Grace Ann can also. Hey Grace Ann, how are you?
Hello, everyone. I am so honored to be on your stage. I'm doing well. I feel great. How about you?
I feel awesome, amazing.
Yes.
So, Grace Ann, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, my name is Grace Ann, as she said, and I am from New York, New York. As well as I have three amazing boys, 11, 9, and 2. Don't ask me any questions about the 2-year-old. He just came. Okay. And I am married to my husband and pastor, my husband for 17 years, my pastor for the last 7 years. So we're doing it up. We're living it, and I am enjoying life. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, Grace Ann, I was saying that before that I did not realize you were in New York. For whatever reason, I think I thought you were in Atlanta, which is crazy because I don't know where I pulled that out from.
Maybe because I have an Atlanta look. Um,
You're gorgeous and fabulous, fierce. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. So, Grace Ann, every time you come onto Clubhouse, we met on Clubhouse, and every time you come onto Clubhouse, there is a term that you use. You'll say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and then there's a term that you use. Tell us about this term. Tell us the meaning of it and how it originated.
so I would always say hello enoughness, and that goes for you and all the other ladies on the stage. I just absolutely believe that we ought to be in our enoughness state of mind, know that we are mind, body, and soul. We are enough. There's no question about it. How did it originate? I don't know who made the word, but I'm coining it, right? I'm going to trademark it and all that stuff. And that is because when God said to me, hey, Grace, great, my company's name, Grace is Enough, not because Grace Ann, but because he has given us gifts on top of gifts on top of gifts, right? Gifts on top of gifts. So and those gifts, remember, grace is undeserved gifts, right? And so who are we to say that we're not enough when he's given us multiple gifts, right? He's given us everything that we need to operate in our fullness, in our purpose. So when we find that we're feeling like we're not enough, perhaps it's because we're not operating where we should be.
Wow. Woo!
And so when I'm being me authentically, when I'm being grace and not choosing to be someone else or something else,
Yeah.
I know that I'm enough. And I want to tell all the women and men and everyone who I come across out there that you're enough as well, that you need not try to be anything else but enough. So I'm operating in my enoughness state of mind all the time, everywhere I go.
Oh, you preaching right now. You are talking my language. Really truly talk, you are speaking my language. And Grace Ann, when you are enough, when you are
Mhm,
in your enoughness, it
mhm.
takes away the idea of competition.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Talk about that a
Exactly.
little bit because
Exactly.
you're not comparing yourself
No,
to anyone. Talk about that a
no.
little.
And that's one of the reasons why I love Clubhouse, right? And I find it to be a community that I really like. And in every room that I go to, I aspire to connect with women like yourselves who who are comfortable being in their full authority. Not just that, but to be able to see others for what they're worth and their value, right? And so you're not afraid of being on my stage. I'm not afraid of bringing you on my stage, or you bringing me on your stage, because why? You're operating in your authority, and I don't need to be like you. right? I can go alongside you and support you. Why? Because you are operating in your enoughness state of mind and in your authority, and I'm operating in that. And we can respect each other, we can love each other, we can support each other. When we get to the place where we're not doing that and there is competition, it's because you want to seem like you're higher than me, or higher than someone else. Well, wait a second. We were all made by this one creator, the true and living God, right? The word says that he gave you gifts. He gave me gifts. He gave all of us these multiple gifts. When we choose not to use them in our fullness and in our authority, that's when we start shrinking. And just because you are in a mindset that causes you to think that you're higher than me in the gifts that God has given you, you may be wrong, right? You may be wrong. I want you to consider that. I want you to consider, instead of pumping yourself and thinking that you're better or higher, maybe you need to take a step back and understand who gave you what gifts you have,
Yes.
and help you to operate in the authority that you're operating. Because the same God who did that for you can do that for me. And before you know it, I may be on top. You may perceive it as being on top, but in actuality, I'm right where God has positioned me to be. Right.
Yes.
And so I don't want to compete with anyone. I just want to operate in my
Yes.
enoughness self. I just want to do with what God has given me. I don't want to sleep on my talents or
Mm.
on my gifts. I just want to use them to build the kingdom and to build people. I want to use them to build people to the point where they're not regretting, they're not at the end of their rope and saying, "Oh, I wish I had done this," or "I wish I had done that." No, I want to help you to believe and know that you can do all that God has purposed you to do. I do not want you to be the widow that says, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I only got one talent and I buried it." No, I want you to
Woo.
have that talent, and I want you to use it to the fullness of your authority. And whatever I can do to help you to see that, whether it's build you up to be higher than me, I have no problem with that. In your mind, you think again that you are higher. However, it's you operating in the fullness that God has placed you in this world to operate in. And so therefore, I don't see anyone as competition. And even if you do see yourself as such, whenever I get this chance to build you, I'm still going to build you,
Yes.
because that's
Yes.
what God has purposed me to do. I'm still going to help you to believe and know that you are enough. I will still put you on my stage. Karena, I have people right now who have stepped out of my life because they felt as though I was not at the place where I needed to be to push them up. I couldn't leverage them, right? And guess what I did? I said, "No worries. I bless you. I bless you.
Yes.
And I pray that God will give you everything that you're looking for." And even today, I look at them and I say, "All right, you need some help here. Let me help you." Behind the scenes, I'll say, I'll just continue to push things their way. Why? Because I'm not hurt. I'm not
Right.
hurt. I understand. I understand that as a human being, you feel like you need to do certain things. But God has already revealed to me what my gifts are and what my role is in your life. And if it's to build you and support you, then I'm going to do just that, because I don't see you as a competition. I see
Right.
you as a sister who needs, or a brother who needs help, or help, a need to believe. And that's what I'm here to do. That's my purpose. And I only want to fulfill it. So I'll love you anyway at any step of the game.
I love it. I love it. And really taking hold of the enoughness,
Mhm.
okay, of who you are. It really be you when you are operating in the enoughness of who you are, and you're not, like you said, all of that, not looking at the competition and the comparison, you are actually focusing more on exactly who you are and what your purpose is. You don't have time to do anything
No,
else,
no, no, no,
because your purpose
no.
is going to take up your time. If you're dedicated to your
Yeah,
purpose, oh my goodness.
yeah.
Grace, and so tell us about your business, your company. What is it that you offer? Talk to us
Oh,
about that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. God is taking me on a ride. So my first and foremost thing is to reach as many women as I can reach. This year, I have a goal of speaking in the lives of at least 1,000 women. Just this year. Why? And it may seem small to you, but I got out of the gate, right? I left corporate America. I transitioned and I said, God, I just want to speak into the lives of 1,000 women. Of course, now that was before I knew about Clubhouse. So Clubhouse has totally opened up the gates to make that happen even more so than before. But my programs, the Enoughness Academy is one of the programs that I run under Grace is Enough. And it's just bringing women from stage one to, I have 9 steps that we need to go through to transform the way that we think, getting rid of that negative mindset, right? Getting rid of, oh, I can't do, unveiling the gifts and working on the habits that they need to work on to now support what God is doing through them. I'm not working miracles, really. I'm just helping you to see, taking the scales off your eyes so that you can see and utilize the grace gifts that God has given you to truly walk in your purpose. And so I believe that God birthed that in me. He gave it to me because as being in church for so long, it's been almost 30 years, right? And in leadership roles here and there, over and over, God has just showed me that too many of us, especially in the faith-based community, that we sit on our talents and our gifts and we wait for people to push us, whilst we ourselves, all we need to do is just believe. Just believe. Enough state of mind is not a feeling.
Yes.
It's not a feeling. It's a belief within ourselves that we can do all things. I want, when we say the scripture, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, that we really and truly believe it. And not only that, but begin to embody it. And so I don't go preaching. That's one of
No,
the
you can go. Listen, listen. If you're saying it, then somebody needs to hear it. Go,
yeah.
go, go.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that God has told me, to go out and make sure that everyone that I come around that knows that God wants you for more. God wants us to use what we have and stop settling for, what we do every day, just robotic. Sometimes we're so robotic. We're so go with the flow when God wants us to rise up and do so much more, only if we just believe in ourselves and what he's capable of doing through us and within us, so that we can go ahead and make a difference, make the impact that we so desperately desire to see. God showed me, he said, go. He said, when he pulled me out of corporate America, he said, go be the change that you desire. Go
Yes,
be the woman that you've always wanted to be. Go be the mentor, right? That you've always wanted to be. And because of that, I'm now also coming out with my non-for-profit organization in about 2 months. Karena, there's so many projects that I'm involved in right now. Why? Because I felt like I wasted so much, not wasted, let me correct that. I was involved in so many things that delayed what God truly wanted me to be doing. 6 years ago, when God showed me all of this, and when my son called me and said, Mommy, you weren't home this morning. We didn't see you when we got up for school. Tonight we're not seeing you. Now that we're going to bed, where are you? When are you coming home?
wow.
After that, I took a year off of work just to sit and take care of my kids, raise them, connect with them, because I had sacrificed so much time, with my family, and I haven't been raising them well to how God had imprint in me, right? And so I did that. But during that year, God showed me so many things that I could be doing, so many things that He wanted me to do. And because of, oh well, where is that the finances going to come from? Where is this going to happen? How is this purpose that you want me to go on, this passion that you want me to to drive, how is that going to give me the finances that I now have. The life that we live now, I didn't get it. I didn't understand, and I didn't trust God. In all honesty, I didn't trust God enough to just make to go and follow. And I sat on it for 6 years. Last year, I said, no more, no more, no more. And I'll tell you that story one day. We don't have, I'll tell you that story. But he said no more. And so he brought me out. He brought me out. And now I'm just speaking into the lives of women. And so I want to help as many as I can in the enoughness program to just help them to birth what God has placed in them. Then I also operate a transition to freedom program that I help women to leave and transition from their 9 to 5 with all confidence. So I teach that, I set them forth with a plan, because one of my hiccups was that I was there for over 20 years, just and that's my baby right now. I was there for over 20 years, frustrated, stressed, overwhelmed,
Yeah.
anxiety, you name it, I had it. I was in environments where I was the only woman. I was the only Black woman. I was the youngest woman. Yes, so many. And because I saw it, and my family depended on me. My mom had an early age, stopped working because of heart disease, right? She's no longer with us, but I remember just wanting to work and earn enough money where I can help to support her, right?
Mm.
I remember the days of where I had eviction notices on my door. And
Mm.
so I worked that hard and built myself because I didn't want to go back to that, right? I wanted to earn the money. So in my mind, I'm like, I want to do this, this, and this. But again, that was not where God wanted me to be. And so he had to transition me out. And so I developed several skills and things that I've really worked diligently at. And I put together the book Transition to Freedom, Leaving the
Wow.
Workplace, 9 steps to leaving the workplace in 9 months. And I'm
Wow.
super excited. I'm super excited
Wow.
because I want these ladies to know that they're not stuck. They may be in a dip, but it's not a dead end, right?
Woo,
It's not a
woo.
dead end, right? They don't have to sit there and still and endure everything that comes to them. We don't have to feel like the vision that we once had as children, or even in our adolescent stage, that it's not dead, that we do not have to succumb to what is right there just because we think that the finances won't be there. I heard you say, and God keeps on playing it in my head since I decided to submit my resignation. God always provides. He always makes provision for our purpose, right? That's what you said. He always provides. He
Yeah.
gave me Matthew chapter 6, verse 27.
Woo.
Do you not think I provided for the ravens, for the birds of the air? What makes you think I won't provide for you?
Mm. Mm, mm,
And
mm.
so I want to continue to feed into this program and these women through my company, Grace is Enough, to help them to break free and transition to freedom and do whatever God has called them to do and purpose them to do, so that they're not feeling like they need to stay stuck.
I
This is
love it. I love it. And Grace Ann, just kind of parking right there for a moment, he will provide for our purpose. There's provision in the purpose. That's something that God just really spoke that to me so profoundly. And he's shown it to me throughout all of this time because, you may not get a paycheck because you're
Mhm.
not in corporate America, and you may not get it like when you think you should get the money or the funds or whatever. But listen, he has been so faithful. And when I hear you say grace is enough, that just coupled with there's provision in the purpose, it is so mind-blowing. I just I absolutely love this conversation. I am like soaking it all
Yeah.
in. It is absolutely amazing. So, if someone wanted to reach out to you for your services, walk us through it. Don't give us your secret sauce. we don't need to know that, because people need to come on in and connect with you and become a paying client for the
Right.
secret sauce. But tell us what we can expect if someone was to become a client of yours. Take us through the process. How do we get in touch with you? And then after getting in touch with you, what is the process after that?
Sure. So I always encourage ladies to join me for a breakthrough session, right? You can always go to my website at graceisenough.co.co and book a breakthrough session. I want to talk with you. I want us to engage in coffee or in tea or water, whatever it is that you like, so that we can talk about what is it that you desire to do. I want to make sure that we are a good fit for each other, right? I want to make sure, and I submit to you a survey for you to fill out so that we can go through, an assessment kind of. Again, it's just to make sure that you and I are a good match because we're going to be dating for several months.
Yes.
We're going to be on this date for several months, and I don't want, of course I'm going to be pushing you. There are going to be challenges. You're going to be expected to take action, but I want to make sure that you're in it to win it because I'm going to be invested, and so I want to make sure that you are too. All right, so go to graceisenough.co, book a session with me, and you also on the website you will also see I'm taking you through in the Enoughness Ladies program. I'm taking you through a 7-step process. 7 steps, right? We're doing 7 steps to go through where you are now to where you want to get to based on your goals, based on your vision of your next life,
Whew.
right? I want you to get there, right? It runs for about 90 days for the Enoughness Ladies program, right? In 90 days, I'm promising that with the work that we're gonna be doing, that you're gonna experience some breakthrough and you're gonna be starting your journey to where you want to go, right? So if you desire to do that, let's get going. Let's get on, right? And if you desire to transition to freedom from your 9 to 5, hey, I'm there with you for the 9 months.
Whew.
9 months from start to end, right? From start to end. Because I know for me, I needed that accountability. I needed that support. As I talked about earlier with my sisters, they didn't they understood where I was going, but they didn't know how to support me, right? I had a bunch of sisters. They were my prayer warriors, but I was the first one in all of my 6 sisters to take
Wow.
this leap to become an entrepreneur, and I am the youngest. So they didn't understand because we have been so programmed to not take a risk, right, on ourselves, right? So I was the first one to take the leap. So while they could pray for me, they didn't know how to support me well. So I'm there for you, to support you, to hold you accountable, and also to give you the tools that are necessary. We go on this journey for 9 months. And if
Wow.
you think that is too short, that's too long, right? Listen, you need to be set up to win. One of
Yeah.
the biggest decisions of my life I've ever made was to put away that 20 plus years of experience and knowledge and all of that stuff to go into something different as to what God was showing me and teaching me. And so I want to make sure that you are doing the same thing, right? That you are going forth and making sure that you are ready and prepared, right? And so that's what we do with this program. And that's how you could find me.
So word on the street is you've got a boot camp coming up. Now, is this one of those boot camps?
Yes,
Let's talk about that a little bit. And
absolutely.
I want to also ask you this after you talk about your boot camp. It sounds to me, Grace Ann, that and this is what I feel for myself as well. So I want you to talk about this a little bit as well. Are you being for women what you did not have when you were going through the process? And so now, because you did not have these things, you're being this for women. And so you're not just coming from the standpoint of, I have book knowledge, I
Right.
have, the skills, but you're also coming from the experience side. So talk about those two things.
Absolutely. I so much so in both categories, right? Well, it's all in one, Karina, all in one. Before I got to the place where I can leave corporate America, I needed to gain that I am enough mindset. I had to understand what God had placed within me, right? So I had to understand what God had placed within me and being able to identify it through prayer, through really searching, through people really just and getting to know me, through getting to know myself. I had to really know what God has placed in me so that I can be enough, not just for me, Karina, the lives that I'm impacting now. And just so you understand, my 30-year-old niece just submitted her resignation letter,
Wow.
right? Right? She's been dying, she's been wanting to do this for now 3 years because she realized that I I don't, this is not where I need to be. Right? She has so much within her. I've been mentoring this young lady for several years,
Wow.
right? But when I made the move and she's been seeing me on this path, not looking back, being all excited, she's she said, all right, I need to do this. And so she made the move. And I'm still there with her. I'm still there with her. Right? So, yes, absolutely. I want to be for the women who I did not have, the support group that I did not have. Right? In all aspects, in knowing your gifts and talents, and being free and brave enough,
Woo.
courageous enough to
Yes.
use it, especially as a woman of faith, not just saying that we are, but to use what God has placed within us. And then also to be confident and courageous and bold enough to transition from where you are, because you absolutely don't want to die there. You don't want what God has given you to die where you are, right? And just because we're afraid of moving, fear cripples us. Fear,
Mm.
the paralyzation that we encounter because of fear, it causes us to never move. There are people who are 60, 70, who knew for so long that there's so much to be done and they never move. So I want to be that. I want to be that for you. 30, 25, I don't care what age you are. I want to be that for you. And so, yeah, the boot camp that is coming up, that I am super duper excited about. I wanna just hit you just like that for 3 days, 2 hours of the day. I want to hit you and I want you to get a jolt, a shock to cause you to move. This
Yes.
is really boot camp, y'all. You've been afraid of going to the army, but here it is. You've been dying for this move. You've been dying to do something with your life, to do something more because you felt that deep down. You want to do more, but you haven't gotten the willpower, the confidence. I want to give you that injection, that
Wow.
that kick right away so that you can move, right? And if you feel like you need further assistance, you can always enroll. But this is what is it, June 9th to the 11th? June 9th through to the 11th. And there's a bonus for any VIPs on the 12th, right?
Wow.
So there's a bonus for any VIPs on the 12th. We can talk, we can get more strategies, and we can ask questions as you will. And that is being rolled out tomorrow. So I'm super excited, very excited to have you come and join.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. This has been, I told y'all this was going to be fire. Listen, it was fire. It has
Yes.
truly, truly been fire. Grace Ann, you have brought the fire. I am so appreciative of you coming to the stage, coming to WarKry Radio.
Mhm.
Go Be Great podcast and really talking to us in your authentic way
Mhm.
with so much passion, so much passion. This is not something that you just decided to do one day. This is not something that you're faking about. This is truly oozing out of you. And that is what we need. That is truly what we need out here. We need people who are passionate about what they're doing and not just simply trying to make a dollar. Yes, we need to feed our families. So we give out, amazing no cost content,
Mhm.
but then also, yes, we have programs and different things like that, but you can tell the real when you
Mhm.
see it. And you are real, you are genuine. And thank you so much for coming to Go Be Great and talking to us about this, sharing your value, sharing your passion. Oh my goodness, this honestly felt like just going to a coaching session. And you didn't just provide, listen, I tell people I'm so sick of empowerment. And I know some people get a little touchy when I say that, but I really feel this in my bones. We're sick of empowerment.
Mhm. Mhm.
We've
So,
had a ton of empowerment over the years,
mhm.
but now it's time for strategies. And
Yes.
even just in this episode, you have provided strategies. So if you provided strategies just in this short episode, I can only imagine what your programs are like. So, ladies, do not delay. She's already said that she's coming to be what she did not have. So, you know what that means. When people say that, because I say the same thing, when
Yeah.
people say that, they come with fierceness
Mhm.
because they're not going to allow you to lay down. They're not going to allow you to fall and,
Yeah.
and and falter around. It's just not going to happen. Not on our watch. And so thank you so much for coming. So give us your
Thank
website
you.
address, your social media handles. Tell us how we can get in touch with you.
Listen, I want everyone here to go be great, right?
Yeah.
Go be great.
Yeah.
I'm graceisenough.co. www.graceisenough.co is where you can find me. I am also Grace is Enough on Instagram, and that enough is spelled ENUF, right? Grace is Enough, as well as on Facebook. I am Grace is Enough. Grace is Enough, as well as my private group is the Enoughness Ladies. Enoughness. So be prepared to hear that you are enough all the time in that Enoughness Ladies group, because I also drop a lot of gems and to-dos and tips and steps to walk you through how to get where I am and even higher. Listen, you remember that you can do what I cannot. God has purposed you and given you gifts that he didn't give me. So I want you to go ahead and be great. Find me at either of those places so that I can feed into you. I can support
Yeah.
you, and we can build each other. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you, Grace Ann, again for joining us here on Go Be Great. It has been an honor and a pleasure, and I am so
Likewise.
thankful that we have connected. So, folks, this has been another great episode of Go Be Great with Coach Karena. I've had Grace Ann Johnson on the show today, and listen, you know how we roll here on WarKry Radio. Go to the show notes. We will have all of the clickable links in the show notes. So I will see you all on the flip side. Bye, guys.
Bye.